All right, what's up, everybody? It's another episode of Broken Bear Conversations. I'm Seiko.
I'm Josh.
Yep, and then it's another Sunday, another beginning of the week, another video, and another shit happening in the world. This one we're gonna cover the topic of the freaking Ohio train derailment. Not sure if you guys are aware of that, but it was pretty crazy that in Ohio, I forgot exactly what was the name of the town, like East Palestine,
Palestine or something like that.
Something like that. They had a train.
5,000 people.
Yeah, they had a train that, it's kind of a small town,
yeah,
5,000 people. Town. They had a train that was going through the town, and it ended up getting derailed. And the whole train tipped over and shit, right? And the thing is that this train was carrying like 5 carts of really toxic chemicals.
Dangerously toxic, yeah.
Exactly. And it just spilled everywhere. And all those chemicals got into like the soil, probably seeped into it, and went into the ground.
Seeping inside your bones.
Exactly.
Man.
Probably got into like all the water that's in the ground and shit. And then on top of that, I think the officials and everything, they were like trying to, get a hold of the situation. So what they ended up doing was they evacuated everyone, and then they did a controlled burning of all the chemicals and shit. So everything that was there, all the liquids, just went into the air instead. So it's just toxic stuff in the air. And when that happened, there was like a whole, I forgot what was the radius exactly, but everything in that radius, all the birds in the sky just dropped dead and fell to the ground.
Fuck, I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, that's what happened. But I know you know about this part. And then like all the water, all the creatures in the water, like the frogs,
I saw
fish,
that. All of them
died. Like started floating to the surface and died because everything got in the water. You know? So everything in the water got fucked up. Everything in the sky got fucked up.
God damn.
And then on top of that, after all that happened, them burning it, they told everyone it's safe to come back now.
How many days went by? It was it was like a couple days or 5 days, a week. It was something crazy.
And then like
it was like this one scientist was saying it was like equivalent to that of like almost like a nuclear of chemicals exploding, and they're trying to fix it. And then like he was like, then we for some reason sent everybody back. He was even confused by that. But that's got to be one of the biggest recent disasters that are insane. It does feel like we were reading things like they're trying to cover shit up.
Yeah, because apparently it derailed because one of the wheel bearings was not in the best condition. They said it was like on its last leg. And I would think that if the company is doing everything right on maintaining
dangerous shit like that,
you would probably have already replaced it instead of like getting the maximum use of it.
Yeah,
and wearing it till it's like on its last leg, you know. So
it makes you wonder, like, do they not have like certain safety protocols or things they follow to check? Like, there's got to be something to be checking, especially if it's this dangerous shit. It makes me down. It just blows my mind. And that's not even the worst of it. There's still more shit that's like even happened that we're discovering and figuring out.
Okay, it just happened.
Yeah, and they're supposed to release new stuff in a couple of weeks, but the fact that they would let the residents come back, it kind of blows my mind because there's cattle there's cattle that's still dying because that shit's in the soil. I don't know how long that stays. I just know like when we had like Hiroshima and all these other nuke towns and their stuff stays there for a long time. It's not even habitable until like a certain time period is passed, and they're drastic. But again, that's nuclear waste, which is different, going to be from these chemicals. But I don't know how different. It's still chemicals, hazardous chemicals, like cancer-causing chemicals. They said like the stuff that's in PVC pipe that are in there, and that's the stuff that's like when it's in that liquid form, it's highly dangerous. And that's what was in those containers and mixed with a whole bunch of other stuff.
I know. Yeah, like I said, you would think that if you have this whole train carrying all these really toxic chemicals, that you would do everything you can to make sure that it's transported safely, especially with the maintenance of the whole train that's transporting it. So that seems a little shady that they might have been cutting corners.
Super shady.
Yeah.
But only that, man, it's like where we work, we have trains that cross constantly. I know. And I'm just like, man, it's like, are they not going to start checking this stuff?
And those trains, it's the same type of train too, with like those containers that carry liquids and shit.
And not only that, we're stuck where we are. We can't leave. So if like the tracks cross over where we are at our job, so it's like there's not another way out. So you just have to wait till the train's done.
Yeah.
We'll be fucked. No one, you can't drive away. So the only way is to go on foot.
Yeah.
Which could you imagine being around something like that? If that happened, we're dead. If that happened, we're dead at work.
I know. I've been thinking about that.
Yeah, now I am.
I know. I've been thinking about that.
It's not something I think I had to worry about.
Yeah. I mean, it's something that you think that the people in charge
are taking care of. But that's, and as we know right now in our world, our state, a lot of our higher ups that we try to put our faith in, they're not really doing the job. And it's like we just trying to live our life, man. It's like getting out of our situation, but then meanwhile all this other shit's going on. I'm like, God, y'all gotta do y'all's job too.
I know.
Like, what the fuck is going on?
I know.
This shit's getting crazy.
I think a good example of that is COVID. Once COVID happened,
I feel like people stopped being a human after that.
I know. You start to see that, these people that we thought had everything under control, they don't. Because now we see that, oh shit, they can't fucking control this and have all the safe measures to prevent something like this happening, you know?
No, that's just crazy. Because like the fact that recently happened and it's still being talked about and they still haven't released everything and they like think it's okay to let people in.
Yeah.
That to me I don't understand because like it kind of relates to the Flint shit. Like that stuff is still having problems. So it makes you wonder like how many years are going to go by where they're going to start discovering new shit or people are going to start being mutated by who knows what birth defects going on. Because I'm like, imagine if someone's pregnant and that stuff going on. I couldn't live there. You're done. Like if leave. Like that to me is like they should be responsible and having these people relocating them to, if they want to leave somewhere else. Buy their property, their house is gone. You now the state has to buy their house and pay them and relocate. To me that should be something as an option. I wouldn't want to go back to my town. Would you want to go back to your town if that's where you live?
I wouldn't, but the shady thing is the fact that they said, all right, we're all good now, you're safe, come back within the week.
We're just fucking sheep, man. They don't give a shit about us.
And then the residents, that's what the higher ups are saying, right? Everything's okay. But then the people that actually live there are like reporting shit like, no, it's not okay. We got people that are having like extreme headaches, nausea, and then like their livestock is dying too.
Yeah, which is fucking terrifying.
And if this is where all our food, not all our food, but if like a good portion of our food is coming from places like this, and that area is contaminated, it's gonna spread to the rest of the country. Yeah, and that's where the food's coming from.
But even like some of the food, all that's gonna spread. Like people that live there, like their water is contaminated. Yeah. Like they say, oh, just get some bottled water. I'm like, you paying for my bottled water?
I know, right?
It's like, well, my showers.
I know.
How am I showering? Did you think about that?
Yeah.
You know, what about their ice cubes that they freeze in the freezer? Are they buying new ice cubes? Probably not. They're probably not thinking about that.
I know.
Man, it's like everything you touch now in that house, like I wouldn't trust it.
Yeah.
And it blows my mind. It's like it's the same shit that's going on in Flint. It's just like how we just try to rub shit sweep it under the rug and try to figure it out as they go, but shit still has not been resolved. And that's stuff that blows my mind. And then this is happening, and I'm like, I wouldn't trust it. And it's like, are they ever going to resolve it? Who knows? Like, it's just one of those things. Like, there's so many problems in the world, so I feel like shit. It's easy for things to get swept under the rug, and that's what sucks. We can't allow that. Like, that's why we have to do something and always talk about it because so much shit is getting swept under the rug. There's so many topics that we even like Epstein shit we're talking about. So many things are getting swept under the rug that we're hopefully. Us trying to be influencers, whatever we can do, be on social media, trying to talk about this shit. Because don't forget, like seriously, keep talking about this shit. This is nuts.
Like Epstein, I want to get into that too.
Yeah, for sure.
That's been going on for how long?
Years, man.
Right? Hasn't it been multiple years?
Dude, it's pre-COVID. Now I'm saying anything. Pre-COVID, if it's still going on, we gotta figure shit out. If it's pre-COVID and we still got the shit problems that we're dealing with, then we gotta get stuff taken care of.
Yeah, like with the whole Epstein thing, I don't want that to be swept under the rug either, because like, isn't this huge? You know, like
it's terrifying. Because like all these higher ups that are connected to them that are trying to not think about it. It was like there was like that top with the banker dude. I know. Chase Bank, whatever, and he's like all these.
Let's give some context to people that don't know what the Epstein shit is, or even if you forgot. Basically, Jeffrey Epstein was this man. I don't even know how he got to the position where he's at, but basically, his position was that he would like have access to a lot of underage girls, and he also has connections to like people in power, famous people, celebrities, and all this, right? And then he would hook up these people with underage girls. That was his whole business, you know. He was just like, if like for example, there's like photos of him with like fucking. Bill Clinton, maybe, or maybe. Donald Trump was on his plane and shit like that, right?
I know I don't know about Donald Trump. I know there's a few celebrities. I forgot who it was, but someone high up in the media. It'll be in a clip for sure. I'll find it. Version we can't remember right now. Brain fart, blame weed. But
there's a lot of photos of Jeffrey Epstein.
A lot of celebrities definitely connected in different ways,
right? Yeah. And if all these people have photos from you kind of think like, do they partake in his business as well? You know?
I mean, I always believe like if you're connected with somebody somehow, like you cultivate what you want, you know? So the people that you're around, I'm assuming they have similar qualities. Why else are you hanging around somebody like that? If you're hanging around someone like Epstein, you gotta have something that relates. You gotta have some kind of vibrational pattern that's linking up.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, how is he in your realm?
Yeah.
How is he in that area? If I'm in a room with him, if I'm at a party and I saw something that was like a Epstein, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care what's going on. I don't give a shit how bougie it is.
Yeah.
Out. I was like, nope. Oh, I recognize somebody I don't want to be around.
Yeah, I know what I mean. Sometimes you know people that are a certain way. You don't want to associate yourself with them because you don't want to be dragged into their world. You know?
For sure, man.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I wouldn't want to be dragged into his world either. But this man would hook up a lot of people in power with underage girls, and he had his own plane that he even called like the Lolita Express or something. And that word lolly, do you know what that means? Where it comes from?
I'm assuming why they know it's from, but
yeah, lolly. I think it's a word associated with underage girls.
Okay, that's what I was guessing.
And that's what he called his whole plane the Lolita Express, which is really weird. And apparently, he also had a whole private island where he would supposedly keep all these underage girls at.
Yeah, I did remember.
And he would fly these people onto this island and let them have their way with the girls.
Well,
and apparently also film them.
Not only that, and he also had code names like with this banker. It was like using Disney for like, oh, I want a Snow White, or like I want a Beauty and a Beast. Mm-hmm. What I can guess what that might mean, but they use a lot of Disney references to refer to girls and their captives and their whatever you want to try to do with them, which is fucked up.
Yeah.
And the more lights gonna be coming out, like so stuff's gonna be coming out in a couple weeks. I said on this thing, but that's pretty shocking that some of that's already coming to light, and who knows how many people are gonna be fucking connected. I know a lot of these people are gonna try to bury it because they don't want this stuff to come to light, but I feel like it's gonna come out, and we're gonna we're already learning all this stuff. It's a movement. Once it started as like a catalyst, you saw the stuff going on with the Me Too movement. That's just the start of it. There's gonna be so much more. I guarantee this stuff's gonna come out, and it's gonna be like a wash, almost like its own little tsunami flooding of a sense of like a tidal wave. It's like everything's gonna be washed away. These people that wanted to hide this shit, it's internet, it's out, man.
Yeah.
And people are wanting something different. It's like I feel like something happened during COVID. I don't know why. It just feels like after everyone was off and had to be with themselves, for that brief amount of time. I feel like that's when we started seeing the world. When we had to come back into this world, we're like, wait, this is the shit that we were living in? Mm-hmm. This is the shit that's been going on? Mm-hmm. What the fuck? Mm-hmm. It's like, I don't know what happened, but I feel like our eyes just got opened up and we're seeing everything clearly for the first time.
Yeah.
It just feels like this is the stuff that's going on. There's a lot of truth that's been coming out slowly. But I don't want that. While this momentum's here, I want to build onto this truth momentum. It's just not, I don't want it to peter off.
Yeah.
Man, I want to get force behind it because this shit needs to be talked about.
Yeah. That's why we like doing podcasts, because we want to talk about these topics people aren't really talking about, especially in quote unquote mainstream media. They don't really talk about Epstein.
They don't.
Which is insane.
It's just
because you think mainstream media or just media channels, they want to talk about the hottest topics to get all the views and shit.
It's the underground media.
This is the hugest topic
ever.
It is. What the fuck? This is we finally got a glimpse of behind the scenes about what's going down with all these people in power and government, all this shit, right?
Yeah.
It's insane. And the fact that he was recording all of them to blackmail them, it's does he know something that we don't, Is he trying to get dirt on everybody so he can...
I'm assuming it's all about self-preservation.
Yeah,
he was trying to protect. I mean, if you're in that world, of course not. Because I feel like he didn't want to be the fall guy, which he ended up being the fall guy.
Yeah, the ultimate fall guy. He killed himself.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's also another thing. Eventually, he did get caught, and he was in jail. And when he was in jail, I think it was a very high security prison or jail, right? And supposedly, when he was there, he ended up hanging himself and killing himself, right? But when he did that, coincidentally, the cameras went off during that time, and the guards that were outside his cell were on break.
Yeah, it's just
coincidentally.
Funny how these coincidences start happening. So it's what's terrifying about money, man. It's we think of it nothing, but it's when you really look at money, just $1 billion. And it's we have people that are hundreds of billionaires. They have over 100 billion, which is insane number to think of. But just 1 billion is 999 million. Is insane number to think about, right? Mm-hmm. So
you don't got to work.
No, you ain't got to work. You don't got to worry about anything.
Your family, your kids, your kids' kids.
Well, all that stuff happens. These people's names are on certain lists. Easily, because to them, 100,000 is probably $1 to us, or a penny, if that. To him, $1 million, oh yeah, here you go. Because they probably won't even notice it And so, like, to people, less life-changing money, they'll do whatever. You know, it's like, okay, you want me to kill this dude, take him out?
Yeah.
How much you give me? All right, let's go. Because to them, life-changing money, they can change their stance. People will usually gravitate toward it. They'll usually grip on it. It's unfortunate that we live in a world where that's all it takes to change someone. Like, literally, you probably can change who you are. If someone offers you enough money and you had to make a certain decision, I feel like unfortunate times that we're in right now, people would choose dark decisions if they had to.
You know, are you talking about people offering you $100,000?
No, not only that. No, just like, so if you're thinking of somebody that has so much wealth and you need, like, say if you're a regular dude, like you're just working out of prison and it's like, I just need you to go away. It's like, but I'm meant to protect the guy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you $500,000.
Yeah.
Just go take a lunch break.
Well,
and you know what might happen. You know what that means.
Yeah.
But you know you're not part of it.
Yeah.
So like, and you know that if you leave on a lunch break, that person's probably gonna die.
Yeah.
And like, would you do that or not? It's one of those things.
Well, even on a small scale, I heard the story of this girl who pleasured a man for a freaking 4 for $4 at Wendy's. Okay?
So that's
just a 4 for $4.
Everyone has their bar. Don't forget.
So I'm saying the fact that if you upscale that to these level of millionaires, $100,000, people are going to do even crazier stuff than what that girl did.
They would, because that's life-changing money, because that can change your life.
Yeah.
And if someone offers you several $100,000, it's like $10,000, that's a bit. They can change the circumstance, but that's not enough to make it, really have the big effect. But $100,000 for people that haven't had anything like that, that's for sure can change games.
Okay, if there's a girl out there that will pleasure a man for a 4 for $4, imagine what people are willing to do
sure.
for $100,000.
Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Would you pleasure somebody for a 4 for $4?
That's what I'm fucking saying.
You know what I mean? What is your limit? That's a good question. What is your limit?
So imagine you offer someone $100,000 to do.
Yeah.
What other things are they willing to do? For
It's not even that. Like, oh, how are we doing? Like, no, here it's cash right here. And it just takes those little white moments in that decision, and that's it. I know people. I get it. And even if they might be a good person, and something's gonna happen, like, he's like, you gotta take care of yourself. You're like, it's not my problem.
Yeah.
Why do I need to protect this dude? He's already a scumbag, so fuck it.
Yeah.
I get it. If that's what happened. This is, again, just theories. But I feel like when people have that much money, because again, 999 million is just 1 billion, and who knows how many billionaires he had with him. So it's like, when you have that kind of money, you rule the world. There's nothing. What can someone say to you to change your mind?
You gotta think about it. If you're a billionaire, you have more money than some countries.
Yeah.
And you're one person.
I can't understand it. Like, I really can't. It's like the world I came from. It's hard for me to fathom. Just even anywhere in that ballpark of money.
Like how my parents are immigrants, right? Like my mom, the village she grew up in, the whole city, that billionaire owns more money than every single person in that city combined.
Yeah.
One person.
Fuck,
Imagine what that does to a person. Knowing that you have more money than whole cities, whole countries.
It's even like the stuff you talk about, like you said, how some people, like, as you get more money in your life, and if people haven't dealt with things or healed things, and you're already in like a certain headspace, you like always have that hole you want to try to fill. Like you were saying, how some celebrities they'll just start having sex to everybody, and then it'll be like just all females. Then you know what, they start, I'm gay now, and they'll start doing that, and then all of a sudden, I'm this, and they'll change who they are because they're trying to figure out who they are. And then if you add more money in that, how many things can you now do? I want to know what it's like to hunt a human.
Shit, there's a whole story about
think
that.
about that. I would probably sacrifice myself if there was a thing where someone say, "Hey, I'll give you $5 million to your family." All you do is try to run, and if you live, you'll get an extra $5 million for yourself. If you don't live, your family still gets paid.
Should you be willing?
I probably would.
Hey, any billionaires out there that got $5 million?
Hey, dude, there is any out there. I'm down. I grew up in Texas. I have somewhat survival skills. Throw me out somewhere. I will try my best. I'll make it a great hunt if you want to try. Fuck it, for sure.
You ever heard the story of the most dangerous game?
It sounds very familiar.
That's pretty much the concept, because it's about this guy who likes to hunt shit, and eventually, and the same thing about falling down a rabbit hole, he's hunting deer, and he's like, I want to try something else. I want to hunt a bear now. That wasn't hard enough. I want to hunt a tiger, and eventually it leads to him hunting humans and shit. Okay, so humans are the most dangerous game because they're smart.
They're smart.
They're trying to outsmart you.
You know how I can easily simplify this. Stop using the gun and try to hunt without using that. Go use knives. If you want that kind of danger, like I had a friend. This again, growing up in Texas, I never was crazy like this.
Okay.
I had a friend. So we have issues with hogs, like warthogs, stuff like that. Like no, it's not warthog, but they're hog pigs, and they'll just like destroy the land. And if you have like animals and farms, they're gonna attack your animals.
Yeah.
So they try to control the population of these hogs, and they'll shoot them. And so that's usually what you have to do. Every once in a while, you have to kind of clear out the little tribe of them, the pack of them that are running around. They can definitely devastate shit. So I have a friend, crazy as fuck. He doesn't like shooting them with guns. He'll hide in a tree, plant bait, and he'll jump out and stab him a whole bunch of time trying to kill him.
That's crazy.
He's like, "Do you want to come with me?" I was like, "No, man. Those things can kill you. I'm good. I'm not worried about it. I mean, I get that you need to kill them, do what y'all need to do, but I'm not gonna go."
Shit, is this guy grabbing a hog and he puts like chlorine on him? Like,
no. He has a knife. He jumps down from the tree, grabs it, and he just starts stabbing it until it's dead.
Eventually, he's like, "That's not enough.
Oh,
I want to get chlorine, and I want to put them to sleep, and then whisper in the ear and cut their throat."
Like,
you know?
Have a nice nap.
Yeah, you know.
But I know it's like, but that's the stuff. Is like that blows my mind.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's a fucking crazy.
It is
story.
crazy, man. It's crazy. And I was like, if hunting to you gets that extreme where you have to start like experiments. People would hunt like go to Africa and like they think this dude shot like a lion. I'm like, I don't get why. If you're that, you want to fly over here and do all this stuff and shoot, these rare animals and to hang on your wall. You go on, it's a museum, just headless animals everywhere.
Wow.
It fucking blows my mind.
Wow.
It's Texas, man. It's Texas, and it's like that's what people like. But to me, like, if you are that extreme, I was like, stop using guns, man.
Yeah.
Because to me, guns they can be helpful for sure, and also save your life if you need it. But it's like if you're that extreme of a hunter, go back to old roots, figure out some shit.
Your friend's living that.
He is. That's also by means if you can, it's like, he's like, I want to try it because he's a weird dude.
That's insane, man.
No, man, it's like, and he kind of says, you want to try to do this? I was like, no, dude,
that's honestly
I don't.
insane. You have a friend that just be stabbing hogs and shit.
No, it's
especially since they're so dangerous. He's like,
they're big, man. Sometimes they're huge, dude.
Yeah.
These things can be several feet, man.
Yeah.
They can be, they're big, meaty animals, man.
So in your area, you guys are like have like a hog infestation?
Lots of them, and you'll hear them like because like especially if people have ranches and stuff like that. You just got a lot of farmland. You get in the cattle. You kind of have to move to different parts to graze and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, these hogs, if there's any water, which if you have animals, you're gonna have water source.
Yeah.
They're gonna because right now so many people are moving in.
Yeah.
Where else are these animals gonna go?
Yeah.
So they just go where there's the most empty land,
Yeah.
and if that's where this person has a farm, which in Texas, they're starting to build up a lot. So a lot of these animals are having to get kind of pushed in a different direction. So it's unfortunate because there's so many new housing developments getting built up. All these animals don't know where to go, and I don't know what's going to happen. I know people don't really talk about that because Texas is still pretty open, but 40 years from now, is it going to be like that? Probably not, There's this one ranch, and he was like, it was huge. Like, I don't know how many, 5,000 acres? So all that's all going to be housing development. And like, what's going to happen with all the animals?
I don't know, man.
Yeah, no, it's kind of terrifying because those hogs, that's why those happen, and like you have to take care of it, and the cities are responsible for that stuff.
I just think that's where we're headed to in general with all the cities, especially Seattle. There's so many more apartments everywhere. Even looking around, I'm not really familiar with the actual city of Seattle, but like I remember, like last week, me and my girlfriend went to Jackson Street. Jackson Street over there?
Yeah.
Kind of like close to Chinatown. Mm-hmm. And I used to go there all the time to eat pho with my family as a kid. And me and my girlfriend went there, like I said, like last week to eat some pho. And I saw a huge difference in the area. There's a lot more apartments everywhere. Yeah, well, I didn't see all those apartments when I was a kid.
It's a real struggle because I don't know what they're going to do. This is a new subject now. But I don't know what we're going to do. But it's like, I know they say by 2050 it's supposed to be at 10 billion. That's a lot of people, man.
I heard that too.
2050 is not that far away. Be like, it's whatever. I'm like, dude, y'all are going to be that old. Y'all are going to be like in your mid-40s.
Yeah, 2050 is only like 20
plus years away.
7 more years.
Yeah. Is it?
That'll fly by quick.
Yeah, it will fly by quick. And then before you know, it's like, enjoy this life you have right now. The world's going to be so fucking different. Because I grew up in the 90s. I was a little 90s kid. So seeing how the world changed just from then, that looks like it was 40 years ago. Mm-hmm. It's even longer, man. It's like if you look at stuff from the 80s and 70s, that shit looks like it's 100 years ago.
Yeah.
It's like it's just seeing how quick things are moving. Man, this world's gonna be so different. I feel like I don't know what to expect from humans.
Yeah,
man.
when it comes to like housing, I heard that we might become just a renter's economy, and what that means is that no one's gonna own a home. People are just gonna rent.
Dude, I have some stuff to tell you about that as well. Yeah, so where my dad lives in Texas, as soon as a house gets for sale, corporations, these rich billionaires, this is what they do. They buy all the houses way above asking price intentionally, and the person, oh shit, I'll sell it, of course. If my house is normally selling for like 160, 170,000, you're gonna offer me 200 and something? Okay. You know what? Otherwise, I'm not going to get that. Yeah. And now they're buying all these houses. So my dad's one of the few people that still owns a house over there near the school. Every fucking one of them is owned by a company. And that's why I noticed around here, most of the houses, when I used to try to work for the stupid solar company, all these places, oh no, it's rented. Every fucking company has been buying all these houses. So that way, like you're saying, that way no one owns anything. And we all have to be, it's like basically we're all going to become indentured servants. Yeah. We ain't got a choice.
Yeah, I heard about that too, because I think in like LA, the houses there are like so freaking expensive, and the interesting thing is that a lot of them are already sold, but they're empty, because they're sold to people in China. Actually, there's actually like a lot of Chinese corporations that are buying real estate in the U.S.
and eventually they're gonna own everything.
Yeah,
and then we ain't America no more.
Shit,
we
man.
China.
I mean, that's why I'm trying to get into real estate. You know,
no, it's good.
My plans. Yeah, God, before fucking everything gets owned, I want to have a fucking property for my family, you know?
Yeah, well, my mom, she's selling some of her land, and she's going to keep some of it.
Yeah.
I think she's going to probably keep around like 100 acres, which sounds like a lot, but I was like, in the grand scheme of Texas, it's not that much land.
Well, shit.
And where she lives, it's not worth that much, but 10, 20 years down the road,
yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, that shit's going to be crazy expensive.
Yeah, if Texas keeps getting more people coming in there and moving in, and it keeps building and growing, it's going to be a great investment.
It really is. And I was like, it's making me pay more attention to how important, even though I don't ever want to live back in Texas, but I'm still glad to at least have some property that's in the family if it stays in the family long enough.
You got to keep that in your family. Yeah, because once you have that, that's like you're set. You know, because you know your generations are good, because you're always going to have land and shit. Because that we're really going to head towards that. Because that's why I was bringing up the apartments. More and more apartments are being built, because literally less and less people are owning houses.
Man, I'll tell you what, if I ever get like win the lottery real quick, something like that, something stupid where it's a crazy amount of money, I'm going to build a fucking castle on that property, build moats around it. Man, I'm living my bougie life. Hey, y'all don't talk to me ever again. I'm stuck here. It's like, I'll be just there in my little castle. Be like, what the fuck is this castle over here? That's me forever.
Yeah.
Just isolated.
Yeah.
But no, it's kind of a scary time to think about that, how quick everything's moving.
I know.
I even pay attention when I'm driving around, just all around here, things are starting to pop up. Like there was this old church that was downtown that they just finally destroyed. I'm sure that's going to be a housing complex. That's going to be apartment. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. And even on here, they're these old buildings. They're trying to repurpose and reuse, and they do build on top of old buildings. Like if you look, like there's you probably can't see it from this angle, but there's it's like a regular building. It looks like it's an old building from like the 1800s, but then there's like another half, like a two-story apartment on top. That doesn't match it at all.
Yeah.
It's like they're just slowly building stuff on top.
I feel like I've seen that.
Yeah, there's some small ones around there that you'll see every once in a while.
But you know what? Kind of similar, but like when we pay taxes and shit, where does the money go? Because the roads are so shitty, man. Every time I drive in Seattle, it's so fucking shitty. Especially here. They're doing like construction. Dude, it's so shitty.
It is. And I would love that. Like, there's this one comedian that also asks, like, why can't we see like America's tax reports? You know, let's see where they're putting their money in. Is military is where most of the money goes. Even in our state, like, why can't we see y'all's tax refund? Let's see where y'all are putting this money into. Can you not reinvest it into like education or roads? Housing.
I wish that when we pay our taxes, we have like an itemized list.
Yeah, that would be ideal, man.
Because I paid fucking $7,000 last year.
Yeah,
I want to know where it's going, man.
Yeah,
the roads are so shitty still.
Yeah, no, I honestly, I feel like a lot of it goes in people's pockets. Because a lot of people's salaries, they're probably way higher than they should be.
Yeah.
And because again, if people really wanted to make their city better, if they reinvest in it, it's gonna make it better. I was like, but they just like, I don't know where the money goes, because like, even like that's what billionaires always fight being taxed, because I get it why they don't want to be taxed, because you're gonna lose several million. Yeah. But that money will just get reinvested in the city if it's used properly. If it's used properly, that's the same thing. That's probably why the billionaires don't want their money touched, because they know where the money's going.
I know. I think that's what Elon Musk said about how he doesn't. People were like getting on him about paying taxes, but he actually pulled up the numbers showing he actually paid his taxes, and then he also added that he doesn't agree with it because he's like, "Where's it going?" He's like, I could make more positive out of this on my own.
Yeah,
instead of giving it to the government.
I would think the same, because like I would reinvest my money into like some kind of thing for creatives, like just where it's free for shit, where people can actually get their stuff together, or either like charities where like people can get their means where they don't have to have a fucking shitty job and they can just work on their art. That would be ideal, creating something where they have this, again, where it's reinvested in your city, where what you're doing, you're either helping the homeless, you're helping people that are truly needing it. You know, it's going, it's in a positive direction, and that's what our taxes should be doing. They should be in a positive direction for change.
Yeah, I would like it if a lot more things were transparent. You know,
ideal.
Because I want to see where it goes. Because it's definitely not going to the fucking roads.
No, it's not.
I've been in Seattle my whole life. The roads have always been shitty.
This is one thing I noticed the difference from like Texas here. Like some of our roads are bad, but a lot of them are pretty good, and our highways are very well lit. Man, I can't even tell if my headlights are working when I'm on those highways. I'm like, are my lights on? I'm like flicking on my door. It's so fucking dark. I'm used to these. Our lights are bright as fuck. Like you don't even have to have your lights on. You can see.
I've been here my whole life, so that's my norm.
Yeah.
But you come from a different place, so you can compare it.
Yeah, it always throws me off, man. It's like I'll be driving, I can't see the fucking lines on the road. I'm like, can y'all see these lines? Whoever's on my car, like, no. I was like,
used to it.
Yeah, it's just it doesn't help because it's always, the roads are probably always wet because it's Seattle and it's kind of like that blackness, you know. It doesn't help. But the lights that I just noticed were just so dim, but it fits the vibe of Seattle. I feel like Seattle has those, like, it's just like a dimness. People have light issues, it feels like.
Yeah, Seattle kind of has like a gloomy vibe to it.
And I think they're trying to cultivate that.
Yeah.
Which I'm glad. And like, I want to channel like my internal vampire. That's when I came here. I'm tired of the sun. I was like, I've lived in Texas so long. We've had like at least 100 days straight of just like 100+ degree weather heat. I'm done with that shit, you know?
That's insane.
Yeah, no, it's not fun, man.
Summer's already bad enough for me.
Yeah. Man, they say that summer's already bad enough for them. I was like, when it was this June of last year, it was still 60 degrees outside. And like, I was looking at Texas, it was already over 100. I was no, I'm good. I don't want to be in Texas anymore. Yeah. If I can still have to wear clothes like this in June, this is perfect, man. Yeah. And then you got like 2 months of great summer.
Yeah.
And even though it was hot summer, I'm like, man, that's not hot.
Yeah,
y'all good.
Okay, yeah, to me, it was hot to me.
Yeah.
That's my norm.
I can't wait, man. I bring you to Texas. I'm gonna just shove you out there. I want to eventually like, take you to my property, send you out there, just do it, stay there for a week.
Yeah, maybe one day.
You'll go on vacation with a girl.
If we keep growing this, then maybe we'll like document a Broken Bear trip to Texas. Seattle boy experiences Texas heat for the first time.
Man, you fucking dying. Man, I've seen on the news, this person fried an egg on the sidewalk.
Yeah, I've seen that type of shit. Like in Arizona. Because that's where my Mexican side of the family's from, Arizona. Yeah. And it's insanely hot.
Yeah.
Like like when you take out your trash, the little trash dumpster thing, how it's made out of plastic. Arizona, it started melting.
Yeah, dude, that's what... That doesn't happen that much like in Texas, but it can. I feel like Arizona because it's the desert shells all around you.
Yeah.
For sure. But that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. That shouldn't exist. We shouldn't be around weather like that, man. God damn. Could you imagine just working outside that shit?
You have to have AC or else you're gonna die.
I'm pretty sure shoes would melt, man. Like I'm pretty sure shoes are melt right now. I'm pretty sure that stuff would melt.
No, I think that's what my dad told me. Like the sidewalk will get so hot that like when you walk, you can see where your footsteps are, but like the rubber's melted.
Damn.
Yeah, some shit like that.
No man, Texas would be crazy. Yeah, there was a coworker I had. He told me he cooked a steak in his car, and one day he just like during his lunch break he flipped it, so he put it in the morning, and it was that's how hot it was, and
he put it on the hood of his car.
No, on his dashboard.
Oh my god.
On his dash. He flipped it. Yeah, he flipped it, and then by the time it was lunchtime, he was good. It was edible.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Did he season it?
Yeah, I don't know how much of he ate. He just said he ate some bites of it. He's like, it was good.
I would never eat that, man. Because you probably have pieces of plastic in there.
Something, man. I was like, but I just like, it's just the weather phenomena that we have here, man. It was just insane. But I feel like just Seattle, the vibe that it's trying to cultivate is good. That's why I want to be a part of it, trying to make the vibe better, because I feel like the outside vibe of the city, even though it's like has the gloominess, that's fits the vibe of what I think Seattle is, but I feel like it's getting lost because it's getting more techie.
It is.
Because like it's like I don't know, it doesn't fit it. The techiness doesn't really to me fit Seattle as much as it should. I feel like tech stuff is like more LA and intense vibes. I don't know, or like parts of Texas, because I feel like things are changing. Like a tech enters like places like Austin, it starts coming in there and it changes it. Mm-hmm. That's why like people were telling me that we used to be in Seattle and they moved to Portland, because Portland now is what the arts vibe that Seattle used to have.
I got that vibe too when I went there. There's a lot of great street art and all that type of shit.
And that's the stuff that I think we can do here. Yeah. We just someone has to start doing it. And I feel like if people start reinvesting and they have options, and I don't know if there's because I know COVID did fuck things up, and I feel like things are having trouble getting started, and hopefully we can find some meet some cool creatives that we can bring up on this podcast, and they can talk about their shit and what they're trying to do for the community.
We got to.
But yeah, shout out if anybody's out there that has ideas they want to talk about. We got a platform right here.
Yes, sir. And speaking of this platform, that's the end of this video.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, that's a good message though. We talked about a bunch of topics, but again, we're a Seattle podcast. Anyone that's from Seattle, you don't even gotta be from Seattle, but if you're in Seattle and you want a platform to talk about your shit, hit us up, man, on all our social media and shit. You know?
Or if you need to look for an apartment, if you like my views right
I wouldn't say that. I'm gonna cut that out.
Okay.
I don't want people to know where we're filming.
Okay, sorry about that.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I'm Seiko.
I'm Josh.
What's your Instagram?
It's Severin Photography. SEVEREN Photography.
All right, there you go. And we're on everything. Broken Bread Conversations, TikTok, Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcast. Check us out.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching.